Hi, and welcome to the Digital Perspectives, episode 12. I'm Praveen Gautam. This program is all about exploring your digital trends, strategies, and really practical ideas to help your business build a brand and monetize it. Today, we want to talk about Thursday afternoon. We want to talk about a little bit on the technology side of the business. Obviously, the technology have changed so much, and we want a little bit deep inside on a particular segment, supply chain and logistic, and that's why I have a special guest. By the way, guys, if you are tuning in from different social medias, including Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, yes, LinkedIn, we are just live on LinkedIn as well. So if you're just tuning in, if you're new, love to know where you are tuning in from. And if you have been watching these episodes from past episodes, welcome to the show. It would be 15-20 minutes. Just sit back and relax, and we'll deep dive as well. And obviously, don't forget to give the thumbs up, like, share, and comments. All right. So let's talk about technology. Obviously, technology is evolving, right? Evolving faster than we are. Yes, in more than 6 years of transformations or disruption, if you like, it's just been happening in last 6 months. So in every industry you can possibly imagine, whether that may be healthcare industry, whether that may be in B2B franchise, or that might be in supply chain logistic, which is our main driver for e-commerce businesses. Everything is changing, and the way how customers are, purchasing, the way how they are interacting, the way how people are perceiving value, everything is changing right now. And that's what today's topic. We want to talk a little bit deeper inside industry, supply chain and logistic, which is the heart of e-commerce. And today I'm really excited to have my special guest, 𝒉𝒂𝒂𝒊𝒕𝒂𝒍, who is a senior consultant of supply and logistic at Gamma Solution, and president of Supply Chain and Logistic Association, 𝑺𝒕𝒊𝒂𝒂𝒊𝒕𝒂 Victoria and Tasmania Division. Now, a little bit about Stephen. Stephen has been a strong advocate for the importance of integrating customer service at every level within the organization. So welcome to the show, Stephen. Great to have you, mate.
Thanks, Praveen. Thanks for the invite.
Great. Awesome. Now, as I was preparing for this live cast last night, I was going through a white paper, right? White paper of e-commerce, the future of e-commerce. It's very interesting, and see that interesting trend. 80% of businesses is increased. The online orders has been increasing due to the pandemic after February. What is that? Is that right, Stephen?
Certainly is. It's been an interesting one. Obviously, supply chain has been in the focus. It's been on the news. It's something we're all thinking about when we see bare shelves, when we're expecting a delivery, and it's now, instead of taking days, it's taking weeks to get to us. Supply chain is very much in the focus. Very important. Another statistic is that of a survey that was taken of 1,000 companies, over 94% said that their supply chain is under strain. So it's something that is certainly on everyone's mind at the moment. And honestly, I just have to look out my window, working from home, of course, in Victoria. Just have to look out at my window when the postman comes. And he is just frantic. He bounds out of that van and smashes that parcel on the ground, knocks twice, and he's off again to the next door neighbour. And so a lot of pressure in supply chain. What we have seen is that although there's some businesses that are having a downturn, obviously, particularly in retail. Where that has picked up is in e-commerce. So obviously we're not going to shops, we're getting most things delivered now, and that has meant that there's more pressure on the e-commerce side of the business. And for those businesses that didn't have e-commerce, they were quickly getting on board and getting something in place very rapidly. For those who already had systems in place, they were increasing their technology, so they were having more users in the e-commerce section of their business, needing more scanners, more software, and so that's been a boom in that side of things, and they need it because what we have is a big demand and more to do, but not enough people to do it. We've got restrictions in the warehouses. low numbers only allowed in the warehouses, but we've got more work than ever that needs to be done. So I think the technology has been very much a focus now.
You bet, and that's where interesting you say that obviously the things are changing, and I can relate that as you being as a Victoria and Tasmania Supply Chain Logistic Association president. Could you set some key drivers? What's making the system agile and robust to handle these surge tides? These sudden surge in demand. Is it just through technology, or do you think is there any other ways how the business leaders or entrepreneurs can cope this up?
Well, a lot of the efficiencies are process driven, and typically the best way to do that is through technology. Like I said, there's a lot more work to get through with less hands on the deck. So technology plays a very important part there. What has been more of a focus though is that we're looking now at equipment that is hands-free. Okay, because these terminals, scanner terminals that we're using in warehouses, that the couriers are using to automate the deliveries and confirm that a delivery has been made. Of course, they're an area that you can transmit bacteria and the COVID virus quite easily, because it's something that a lot of people are touching that device, and the virus can move from person to person. So what has been a topic of conversation and a requirement for a lot of companies is to have this equipment that you can disinfect. So that they're made of plastics that you can use disinfectant to wipe it off before you're handing that over to the next person. And also a design that doesn't trap bacteria. So if you think of maybe a mobile phone, some of them have a lot of little buttons and areas where bacteria could get caught in. And so it's having a design that is more healthcare orientated, so that you can wipe them off and there's no places for bacteria to hide. So that's something. And also changing processes. So of course our couriers aren't using sign-on glass. They are asking for a name on delivery and typing that in themselves, or even just taking a photo as proof that a delivery has been made. So lots of change in processes there.
I can imagine. Wow. That's interesting you say that, because obviously the change and the process has to be done so rapidly, isn't it? Because, no one has been prepared. So it's all like, navigating the change or being adaptable. Now, other thing also I'm conscious about, because as a consumer, people are, of all these social distancing and all these measures in place, people are jumping online. I mean, certainly I do every day, and, almost good morning through a new parcel every day. So we love jumping online, and one of the key drivers here we're talking about is speed. Speed is so fast, because the way you order it, you can get the next day or two in next 48 hours. So people are watching this right now. Those who are viewers who are watching this right now, they must be very curious to know what are the digital trends of businesses or household can expect the near future in terms of e-commerce and physical product delivery, Stephen.
So look, in the US, they've had, I think, 2-3 hour delivery timeframes for quite a while now from companies like Amazon. A little bit more difficult to implement that in a country like Australia. We're a little bit more sparse. The population is spread around the country a little bit more, but still practical in the near future for Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide, the main business areas. And the way that happens is that instead of having a few large DCs, distribution centres, that there are more smaller ones. So you would start seeing small warehouses popping up in the CBD that are just there to hold key stock to get that delivery done within 2 to 3 hours, rather than it coming from a large DC. So we're going to start seeing that happening. I think obviously COVID has pushed delivery times to sometimes weeks now rather than days. But when things get back to normal, I think that the consumers' expectations will be moving more and more, not just for same-day delivery, but within a morning or an afternoon. So I think technology has certainly a big part to play there, but also the strategic location of small warehouses.
And that's definitely a driver to have that speed, because obviously people want right now. Even the instant coffee is slow in this interesting time. People don't have a patience, so they order it. They are just waiting.
Yeah.
I can totally relate that. Now I can see a number of the viewers are watching this from YouTube, obviously Facebook as well as LinkedIn right now. And just to give you a heads up, I am with 𝒉𝒂𝒂𝒂. If you have just tuned in, with who is the president of Supply Chain Logistic Association of Australia, Victoria and Tasmania chapter. And feel free to like, share, or comments if you have any questions in terms of the e-commerce or supply chain logistics, especially. Feel free to just write down, and obviously I can bring that to Stephen as well. Now, interesting time. Now, also on that note, you're also now before we go to a Gamma solution, can you tell a little bit about SCLAA, the organizations you're involved in, and what is the primary role for them right now, Stephen, if that's okay?
Sure. So SCLAA is a Supply Chain and Logistics Association of Australia, and we're Australia's largest association for the industry, for the supply chain industry. What we do is we advocate, we support, we educate the supply chain community. So you can join as a member, and we have various programs and events that we run. For instance, breakfast events. We have site tours, which is one of the more popular ones. Thought leadership events, networking events. We just kicked off our mentoring session where we match up newly graduated supply chain graduates with experienced supply chain professionals, and they meet up once a month, talk about career goals and the industry and how to progress in the industry. So that's been a great success. We always book out for those, and also the site tours. Most of our events have moved fairly smoothly to the online format. So we've basically got the same program but online, with the exception of the site tours. Apart from Victoria, site tours will be opening up soon in other states. Victoria will probably be next year, because obviously there's a big problem getting a tour of people through a warehouse within the near future. So that will be something that we look at next year. But we're here for the supply chain community. If you're in supply chain or have an interest in it, it's really good value.
That's great. So those viewers who are watching this right now from LinkedIn, and obviously we would be sharing this to a number of pages as well. So if you are right now in some shape or form involved on the supply chain and logistic, feel free to reach out to Stephen. Obviously, his best contact or best email is right there, stephenlaki@gammasolutions.com. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Stephen, for that. Now, obviously, you also involved in the Gamma Solutions, right? Which obviously we work very, very closely with Gamma. And those viewers who are watching this right now, Gamma provides a logistic and warehouse management systems. And now, obviously, many retailers are moving to e-commerce platform. So either it's a first time or they are going in a deeper. So, what is your top 3 tips for the efficient warehouse management system right now, Stephen?
I think if you're implementing a warehouse management system, so if you're on a paper-based system now and you're looking at automating that process, and firstly the reasons why you would do that is so that you know what stock you have and where it is, and that your deliveries are being made accurately. All right, so you're a lot of benefits there. If your deliveries are made accurately, then you're going to have less returns, and you're not, sending a pack of 12 light bulbs out to a customer when the customer only ordered 6. You may not see those additional 6 back again, of course. And also, if you know what your inventory is, if you have a high accuracy level, then you need to keep less buffer stock. All right, and buffer stock, of course, it was very important over COVID, and is something that has been emphasized, is how much stock do I need? But if you've got a warehouse management system that is keeping track of all stock movements, that's going to be a very high accuracy, and you're not going to need buffer stock to cater for errors in your inventory. As far as the 3 top tips go, I think, first one would be to test various technology. It's very easy if you're going for a warehouse management system just to go for the stock standard. We call it a brick on a stick, so the standard scanning gun. which will do the job. But there's a lot of other technologies out there that you probably should consider as well, and they may suit your application better than the standard one. And things I'm thinking about, some voice technology, and voice technology now has come down a lot in price and can work with most standalone warehouse management systems. Something that is a big benefit of it is that it frees up your hands. And when you've got two hands available because you don't have a scanning gun in one, what that means is that you're more efficient. So you can, for instance, if you're packing wine, instead of taking one bottle of wine and putting it in a carton and scanning it, you'll be able to use two hands and pack that. So you can see there's a lot more efficiency with both hands. If you're picking big bulky items, instead of putting down a scanning gun and moving an item, you can move the item and use voice commands to record that pick. That's just one technology. There's mobile printers, right. There's wearable technology, lots of them. So that's one. I would partner with a technology partner who has done this before, is very experienced, and that they can show you a reference site so you can see another customer who is using the same equipment as what you will be and get some feedback right from the horse's mouth, so to speak. The other thing is to get everyone involved, all different areas of the business involved in that warehouse management system decision and the testing. And I've seen one of the biggest reasons why you could have a failure is if you only have one particular area involved. Make sure that you've got someone from IT involved, you've got the CFO involved, someone from finance, you have someone from operations involved, and certainly make sure you have the users involved as well, because that's going to help in that change management if they're involved all the way. And it's very surprising when you put a scanning gun in a user's hand, what comes out. And what theoretically should work, the user may point out that, oh, hang on, this nice new touch screen that I meant to use, well, actually I use gloves, and the touchscreen doesn't work with gloves, to give you an example. So very important that you do your proof of concept and have those users involved in that decision process. So there's my 3 tips.
That's great. Thank you, Stephen. It's like, for normal users, for consumers, normally, it's like trying to have loading up the apps in an old Nokia phone. It doesn't, you can't get all the technology. So what you're saying is technology plays a very vital role to have a efficient process or effective business process. Yeah.
Yes, certainly. That's it's all about real time. So the aim is to get rid of paper from the process. Anytime you have paper, there can be errors. You're writing on paper, 3s become 8s. And that paper has to be processed and entered into the computer system at some point. If it's on a terminal, the transaction is live and it's very accurate. As soon as you scan something out of the warehouse, it's reflected immediately in the ERP system.
And that's very powerful, obviously, everything happening live. So there is about 99.9% of accuracy is right there. So that's great, Stephen. I'm conscious with the time. If the viewers are watching this right now and they are interested to know more about anything you want to say about how the future is happening in the warehousing, anything you want to share with the viewers, or if they want to reach out to you?
Well, look, there's a lot of technologies to consider. Wearable technologies, mobile printers, voice technology. They're all happening now. Something to look out for, I think, that is just about to go mainstream is the goods-to-person robotics. So that there's a lot of smart money going into that. So the supply chain corporations that know what they're doing and have been in the industry a long while are putting some serious money into that area. So this is where you're seeing the Amazon-style robots where they're picking up the shelving and bringing it to a packer. Making it very, very efficient. I know 𝒉𝒂 Logistics just implemented a system recently, and they were seeing like 400% increase in efficiency, which is amazing. But again, it's very important to get the right technology for the right application. they only suit certain inventory types. But I think robotics is a big wave that's coming not just to the big DCs, the big companies, but also to the medium enterprise as well.
Thank you so much, Stephen. It's great to have you today. And anything you want to add up before we wrap up this short talk?
Nothing other than if you're in supply chain and you would like to be part of the association, be part of the events, and become involved, shoot me an email, and I'd be happy to give you details on how you can join.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Thank you for your great, valuable insight. Obviously, the customers, those who are watching this right now, they see the value, obviously. And if there's anything you have specific questions, reach out to Stephen. And if there's anything we can be of service, just let us know. And certainly, this has inspired myself because it's the future of in the way how we live, how we consume, how we deal with the clients. And if you're inspired by Stephen insights and want to know how to increase your digital airs, would love to hear from you. Thanks, Stephen. Stay well, and bye.